since majority of the world and the things that are in the world that we take part in are defiled by Satan, it's important that we worship by spirit, because when you focus on the flesh all the time, you will judge yourself more than what God requires. You see what I'm saying? If that make any sense, like, for instance, we all know that medication has stuff in it that Satan uses. We all know that the doctor's office is used by Satan. We all know that the devil uses alcohol, marijuana to make people as a door for people to bring in demons for them to sin. You see, we all know that the food has different toxics and injections that Satan has put in it to cause us to change, cause our genetic codes in our DNA to change. It's like, we all know that football was created from is a tradition passed down from the Greeks and the Roman Empire, and it was a whole lot bloodier than what it is today. You know, we know that boxers existed back then because Paul even used it in one of his examples. You know, we know that, but then again, boxing is still used by the devil to steer people away. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and even the news, you know, it's like everything, the technology, it's like everything that we use is defiled by Satan in some type of way. So we have to learn how to control ourselves from being part of submitting to the devil. You see what I'm saying? And so now, today's age is nearly impossible, because unless you live off grid and, you know, just basically completely cut off the entire world, which is majority of the population, are not going to be able to do this. You know, there's some chosen ones that are chosen to do this for their specific calling, but not everybody are going to be able to do this. And so it may be a point where everybody that can't do it have to do it, but as of now, it's almost impossible. So this is why we have the advocate to in his gospel to help us get through these defiled world, because it says in the scriptures, the devil runs the world. So he runs everything that we do, literally, like everything. He runs an entire system. How can we get by in this world? It's not being of the world. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we acknowledge it. We acknowledge the things that are going on. We see it, but we shouldn't be of the world. And in order to do that, we have to submit to the Lord and have self-control, have obedience. You know, we have to do our best to be in line with the Lord. And so this means that we shouldn't sin willfully. You see what I'm saying? We're all sinners, but we shouldn't sin willfully. This is how you come in line with the Lord. And being a willful sinner, it'll cut you off from his land. You see what I'm saying? But being a person that is not a willful sinner, basically sinning non-willfully, this includes us eating toxic foods, taking medications, to keep us alive, focusing on these careers that we have that the devil has his hand over, but he will use these situations to keep us to fight against the beast. You see what I'm saying? The Lord may have you get on some medication just so you can stay alive for a couple more years, just to preach the gospel. You see what I'm saying? The Lord may put you into a certain trade that the devil has been using to pollute the planet just to make a difference. You see, just to make a stand. You may go through an entire medical school just to be an assistant of a doctor who doing abortions, and you may just take a stand against him. You may lose your entire career off that. But guess what? God has something else planned for you. You see what I'm saying? So we have to use our gifts and our paths that God gives us to fulfill his prophecy in his kingdom. You see? Not the prophecies in Satan's kingdom. Satan has his own people that will fulfill his prophecies in his kingdom. That's just how it is, because that's prophecy. All prophecy is God's prophecy. So even Satan's prophecy is God's prophecy. But God's prophecy for his kingdom is what matters, because the Lord, creation was created through him. He is the beginning and he is the end. So focus on the Lord and what callings he has for you on this planet. When you are in the Lord, you have an unlimited source of power. So no matter what you do, what you stand up against, God is always going to open the door for you in another area. You see what I'm saying? So you should not fear. Fear not. Fear not about your career. Fear not about taking this medication just to live for a couple more years. Because God may have you take that medication, and then he may have you in the midst of that doing some natural stuff. And then out of nowhere, you living longer than the span of the medication. You see? So you have to see how God will create good things out of the evil things in order to benefit you. He does it. He did it with Joseph. He did it with Moses. He did it with Paul. He did it with every prophet and disciple in kings that were in his favor. And he even did it for the evil kings. He even used the evil people in order to fulfill good things that he has for his people in his kingdom. You see? So it's important that we focus on the Lord and what he has in store for us. Don't be afraid to fight the beast. Speak if you have to speak. If the Lord call you to speak, speak. If you're persecuted for it, so what? Take praise in the Lord that you're persecuted for serving his kingdom. It's best to get persecuted for serving the Lord than to get persecuted for doing evil. Fear the one who can kill the body and the soul, not the one who can just kill the body. The devil is killing all our bodies as we speak by everything that we do. You see what I'm saying? But can he kill the spirit? No, he cannot. If the spirit is with God. You see? Because he can kill the spirit spiritually, but he can't send it to the lake of fire. Only God can. But don't let the devil use the scriptures to trick you. Because God says that he can only kill the spirit. You see, the devil will show you the scriptures and say, look, only God can kill the spirit. But in reality, the devil can tear your spirit down to the ground. And then to the point to where you don't even love God no more. That's when God will send your ass to the fire. Because you didn't already let the devil turn your spirit down. And now you have the devil, you know. And when I say tear your spirit down, that may be simply as devil giving you money, making you sell out. You see, in the world, it may be like your spirit is high. But in the spiritual realm, your spirit is low. You with the evil ones. Now it's time for God to judge you. You see what I'm saying? So don't let the enemy defile you to the point to where you can't reach your potential and your gifts to serve the Lord's kingdom. All right? That's important. Shalom.